know why I'm filming this. I just film a lot in my life, and I don't know. Today I found out that I have lymphoma. Ooh, it's crazy to watch that girl and be sitting here in the same spot when that all happened. The fact that that was 2.5 years ago now is insane to me. I don't have many words. I want to keep this video short, but just have something to capture this day. It is March 15th, 2023. Today I hit my 2-year mark for being cancer free. It's a big day. I don't have much planned. I'm just going to get a yummy dinner. It's weird because these cancer anniversaries are not like a birthday. They're like a day of reflection. Like my mom was like, what do you want to do? Let's go out. And I'm just like, I want to chill, just soak it all in. I have a really big next couple of weeks. I am celebrating. Just today, I am just resting at home. It's crazy to see that girl. I mean, I know it's me, but it doesn't really feel like me. It feels like this past chapter that, you know, I remember little things from it. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. I didn't really know what to say in this video, but I'm just here talking as I do. It's officially been 2 years since I got the call. I remember that day. It was March 15th. I had gotten my scan I think that morning or the day before, and usually it took a little bit for my doctor to get a hold of me, but I just have this feeling, I don't know scientifically if this is true, but because it was so clear, it was just an easy read, and that's why they got it back so fast. I remember answering the phone call shaking, and my doctor said it's clear, and I went into my mom's room and was like, it's clear, and it's crazy, and we all kind of just like, no one freaked out. It was just a weird calm moment. My sister and I wanted to go celebrate and pop a champagne bottle, so we went and drove looking for like a decent field to film in for like over an hour. Eventually settled on this like dead field that had just been rained on, and you know, it's March in Washington and you're not gonna find like a field of flowers. I made that little video and shared it with the world, and that was just a special day. I was wearing my favorite wig and I was feeling better, but there are a lot of side effects from chemo that I feel like now that I'm at the 2-year mark, finally feeling like they're going away. But that was just such a special day, and I've come so far. I can't believe it's been 2 years, but I also can. I've been seeing everyone post about the 3-year mark since COVID started. It's just wild to me that I see it so differently. Like, yes, there was COVID started 3 years ago, but I had this crazy journey in the midst of that. In those 2 years, let me think back. I don't even know. There's been a lot. I remember the following month, I went on a trip to Hawaii with a couple of my friends, my god sisters, Allison and Caroline. I was dealing with so much anxiety on that trip. I was having like separation anxiety from being away from home because I had been home for so long. And I was in this beautiful place, but my body doesn't feel right. It hadn't adjusted back at all. I was up about 20 pounds from my like normal, my weight fluctuates a lot, but up 20 pounds from before. My face was so round. I had no hair. I was done with the cancer treatment, but I looked in the mirror every day and was reminded of it. And I remember that summer I tried to make the most of it. Me and Sid had a lot of fun. It was a good time, but it was just a lot of adjusting, dealing with the after effects of everything, and processing the anxiety and the stress and the worry. It was a lot. I remember I went back to school that fall. I ended up dealing with 2 scares within those like few months. There was something that looked a little bit off, and then another time they realized that I have some trauma, I'll call it, in my lung area, which is where the lymphoma had spread. I don't remember what it's called, but I had this mediastinal trauma in there that they could see on my scans, and they were able to rule it out eventually that it was just like physical impacts in my body that just show what was going on. All the chemo and the trauma on my body, I don't really know how to explain it. I am not a doctor, but you can literally see it. So dealing with those 2 cancer scares, my mental health was in the absolute toilet. It was I was not okay. That made the healing process just go back to zero. I was stressed and anxious, and it impacted my relationships because I was so stressed out the thought of it happening again that I couldn't even focus on anything. I was asking for help, and it just was hard because I had just gone through this huge process, and then asking for more help and needing more help from people was just hard. I wanted to be self-sufficient and independent and closing that chapter of my life, but it didn't work that way. So I eventually got the all clear that both things were nothing to worry about and it wasn't cancer again. I remember I found that out around February, and I moved to LA and I was there for 3 months, and then that was a whole new thing. You know, I learned a lot. I have all of those adventures vlogged. It wasn't perfect by means, but I was just needing to start a new chapter of my life. Came home for a little bit, and then I went back to LA and had the most amazing time, met the most amazing people. There was a lot of self-growth in those few months in LA, just feeling so loved and like I belong somewhere. It was amazing. And then I went to flight attendant school, graduated from that, and now I'm a full-blown flight attendant. I'm 4 months in, and my hair is back and my body is mostly back to normal. I still deal with a little bit of fatigue, but not as much as I once did. Also, this job is a lot on your body, and I slept for 18 hours the other day when I got home from my trip. That's just, you know, my body needed it, so I'm gonna give it to her. But yeah, now we're at today, March 15th, 2023. We're 2 years post. We've grown so much. Our life has changed, but it's also beautifully like on the same path, but it's not. It's just weird, if that makes sense. But I don't want this video to be too long. I'm gonna read off this list that I made. I typed it up late last night when I couldn't sleep. And these are 14 things that I have learned being 2 years cancer-free. First off, it's over, but it'll always be with you. Second, my post-traumatic medical disorder will hit at any time, so take it easy. I had one really big hit. One of my friends, Carly, who I love so dearly, was dealing with some cancer-related things, and it sent me through a spiral, and I just felt for her, but it was also so scary and just triggering of a lot of emotions. She's doing good now, and I love her, and I felt bad that I turned into a tornado near her while she's going through her own stuff. Being a survivor myself, it just like, it's tough. You care about people so much, and the last thing you want for them to go through is what you know and what you've gone through. So that was just a lot, but I just needed to cry it out for a solid 24 hours. I remember my sweet neighbors in LA brought me flowers. I still don't really know how they knew something was up. One of my friends, Martin, just came and sat with me as I cried, and he had no idea really what was going on or what to say, but I'm grateful for him to this day because of that. But yeah, I just had to give myself some grace and cry it out. Number 3, your body will go back to normal and your hair will grow back, but the scars will be there forever. I mean that metaphorically and physically, because I'll always have my scars. Number 4 and 5 are related. There are times you don't think about it, and there are times you think about it a lot. With this new job, I'm busy. There's days that it doesn't even cross my mind. And then there's some things that bring it up. I remember I was flying with someone the other day. He said, "Oh, you're so young." I remember I was being optimistic about catching my flight home or something, and he was like, "Oh, you're so young and optimistic, like life will hit ya." And I don't usually hit people with this because I don't know, I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable, but I was like, "Oh, I've learned a lot. I beat cancer, stage 4 blood cancer 2 years ago," and his jaw just dropped, and he was like, "I'm sorry." And I'm like, "No, you don't have to apologize. I just want to give you some perspective that I'm optimistic because that's what got me through, and that's why I'm still here today." And not that I'm always optimistic, for sure, but just a little bit of perspective, which goes into the next one, that having perspective is everything, and that you never know someone's story. I always try to remember that. Even I can forget that sometimes, you know. I'm like, oh, they're being horrible. Like, what's going on? And then realizing that there are probably other factors leading into that. Most people are not just, you know, that horrible. I hope not, but having perspective is everything. The next one is, once you look normal, people will assume they know you, but they don't. You might tell them, but it's your story to tell. For example, that story, I don't always bring it up, but sometimes I feel like, you know, open that door, share a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird, but other times sometimes, you know, it helps someone get to know you. So next one is there will always be that worry, that what if, especially dealing with those couple of scares that I was talking about. You know, it's always going to be there. I never want to go through that ever again. I don't want anyone that I love or know to go through that again, but it'll always be there. It's just like a little cloud that sometimes hovers over me. The next thing is, it's not everything that you are, it's just part of the story. That is something that I have had to learn and heal from, that I am more than just cancer. I am Cam, I am a flight attendant, I am a content creator, I'm a sister, you know, we're getting into the deep stuff, but like, I'm so much more than that, and I have to remind myself a lot, because sometimes I just see that little girl that was only 2 years ago, but think of her and that was all encompassing, what is that word? Consuming in her life at that time. You know, it's just part of my story now. Next one, super important, surround yourself with the people who were there in the beginning, middle, and today. And the next one, cut off the people that you lost in the middle. Sometimes it's tough to do, but I promise it's the healthiest thing. And then the last two, meeting the other survivors is the most beautiful thing to happen. My survivor girls and few guys, you know who you are. I love you. I'm so grateful for you, and I couldn't do it without you. And then losing one is really tough. I've been super lucky that most of my friends that have lymphoma, it's a very treatable disease, but there are other people that you lose, and dealing with that survivor's guilt is really hard. And yeah, I don't really have many words to say, but just yeah. Didn't want to talk your ear off too much. This is just a little check-in on the cancer journey. I am so proud of how far I've come. I'm so grateful just to be here. You know, it takes a lot to heal from something like that, and I feel like I've done it on my own time and in my own ways, and I'm still learning every day how to deal with it and how to communicate about it and how to build relationships, new relationships especially, out of something so crazy. But just reminding myself that it's just part of my story, but it's not everything that I am, is something that's so important to me, and I need to remember. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me on this journey. I just am happy to be here and I say that a lot, but I really mean it. Thanks for watching. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye. Sending love out there to whoever needs it.
Outside with the cuties, I don't think the words are too